This is James Smith, and Jen, this is the last and final week 6 of our study in the course Ministry, Theology to the Disabled. This week we were asked to read chapter 1, 5, and 6 of the book by Eiesland, I think it's pronounced, this The Disabled God. And a few synopses. I have to be honest, Jen, I'm not a big fan of this last book. I appreciate, after reading the New York Times article, and I appreciate what this writer had gone through. And there's many points that I agree with, but it was a challenging read for me. There were some parts that I mentioned in my one discussion group. I was kind of throwing some things at the screen, and I'll mention those. And those things I say negative, I don't mean anything negative towards the writer. I appreciate what she did with her life and how she encouraged those in the disability community and really used her life to help the disabled community as a whole. Anyway, there were differences. She saw the differences between disabilities, MS, stroke, deafness, blind. There's big differences between each disability, and it's important for folks to understand that, especially as we minister to those different people groups. I talked about the argument of the disabled community to be classified as a minority. I think that was interesting. I never thought about that before. I never thought of myself as a minority group, and it's kind of an interesting spin on it. And I think there's some things from that I do agree with. The terminology she went into, again, that almost every book we've talked about and we read in our coursework, the terms of disability. She liked the word people with disabilities. I like this thing she wrote. People with disabilities are rejecting the stigmatized social identity imposed upon us and are identifying themselves. I thought that was a great quote. Talked about, here's where I kind of got lost. I thought that the author had a little bit more of what I call a negative view of disability. And, I get that. That's a part of the community that I appreciate. And I do know where they're coming from. I wasn't crazy about the term erotic being used in this. I just thought that was a connotation I just didn't want to go to. And though I kind of see what she said there, I just wasn't a fan of that going that direction with the subject that we're in. I do agree with the disabled God. I thought that was a great thing. We've seen that in some of our other writings. And Jesus reappeared and had scars on his hands and feet. Our bodies are not artifacts of sin. That was a great thing I thought that she wrote. And here's where I lost it. I've never called it the Eucharist. I come from a Baptist background and an independent type background. The word Eucharist is we don't even use really. And though I'm new to the Methodist Church, I'm getting that that's a term that's used a lot. And I've never heard of seen anybody having any issues with the Lord's Supper. I've seen people in wheelchairs doing it. I've seen other folks of different disabilities doing that. I've never had a big problem with the language that's been used. I never knew it was an issue. And like we find in every every one of these things, there are issues that people have with things. And so chapter 6 went over my head. And I appreciate the writer. I'm going to say that, but just never seen that. Church has always been, every church I've been in since I've been disabled, and before that, has always been very gracious to people in wheelchairs. If they want to go forward and get it. A lot of churches I've been in don't even have people go forward to get the Lord's Supper. Baptistic type churches and a lot of independent churches, you just it's passed to you at the seat. So it's just never been seen as an issue whether you go forward or not. Our church that I'm in currently, that it is a Methodist church. Obviously it is the thing where you go forward and get it. But our church is always, if you want to go forward and get it, great. If not, hey, we're going to bring it to you. And they've been gracious. Even the pastor, it's not just done by anybody. The pastor will come up, and the two pastors will come up, and one will give the cracker, and one will give the grape juice. And so, like I said, never knew it was an issue. So you learn something every day. And like I said, I do appreciate the author's perspective, and it's good to get different perspectives and see that, for some folks, there are some issues that go on. We were supposed to pick one of the bullets below. And my key takeaway from this particular week that I would share with others is I love the concept of the disabled Christ. I even had a conversation with a gentleman today at a Bible study I go to, and we talked to for about 10 minutes, and he loved that concept. And so this is something that I will have the opportunity to share with others, and I will do that. And we didn't just see it in Eiesland's book; we saw it, I believe, in some of the other writings too. So this is great, and I learned a lot of things from this. I did read the article in the New York Times about the author. I'm sorry that we lost her. And like I said, appreciate. Do you disagree with the way her work has been received in disability fields? I kind of understand why some of it's been disreceived. I appreciate how the social part of it, the social justice part. I appreciate that. But some of the third stuff in the church, I'm kind of half and half on. So I can get why there's some disagreements about her work. But again, I appreciate what she did with her life, serving those in the disability community and the church as a whole. We needed to, and then the last one of the 3 books that we read, did you have a favorite? Why or why not? And I really enjoyed the book by Carrie God Be Good. God Be, I hope that's God Be Good. That was just a great read. I went from chapter to chapter. I did read the whole book, and I'm not just saying that we should be reading easy books. That's not what coursework is about. But it was very easy to read. I just felt a lot of it came from the heart and her personal experience, and it was just a blessing to read. And I got some real nuggets that I got during that, and I just really enjoyed it. And let's see, what else are we supposed to do? Make sure I get everything. I don't want to miss anything here. Let's see. Honest feedback. I think that's everything. So anyway, I just want to tell you that I appreciate all the work that you've done with us. I'm looking forward to the next coursework. It'd be nice to have a couple months off, and looking forward to starting. I guess it was in August, and I've learned a lot from this. It's been a stretch. It's been a challenge at times because of some of the physical things I go through. I appreciate a lot of the helps and the content that you've brought to help through this. So Jen, thank you very much, and God bless you.